Hey everyone, I hope you all are safe and doing good. So in this lecture we will see pattern printing question. Few questions on star pattern, then number pattern and then alphabetic pattern. There are so many pattern question can be there. So many pattern questions. So I will discuss few questions here and you try out now after that different types of pattern questions. Like to get a better idea, to just improve your logic building, to just improve your thought process. So you have to try out many practice a lot these pattern type of questions, pattern printing questions, right? So let's just discuss first. Suppose I hope you can say this. This is our first. So there are few patterns. These are star pattern. We will discuss first how to print these patterns, right? So let's just first discuss this one. You can just now pause the video and try to think because in the previous lecture also I have given you this assignment that you have to try this out. So we have to print this kind of question. Okay, let's see how to build the logic, how to think. So this is the pattern we have. In the previous lecture I have told you, you have to you just have to remember there is there is a trick. If you know that trick, if you get that trick, then you can easily solve any number of pattern. First thing, just find out how many lines can be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like n value is, you can say 5. So for the number of lines, which loop is responsible? Outer loop. So we know. Now the outer loop should run like suppose int I is equal to 1, I less than equal to 5. For this pattern, I plus plus. This is for sure. Right? Now inner loop. Inner loop is responsible to for the columns. Now in the first row, this is first row, second, third, fourth and fifth. In the first row, we are having only one column. In second row, two column. In third row, three columns. In fourth row, four columns. So number of columns, as you can see, you can find out the pattern. Number of columns are same as the row number. This is row number. Or here we are taking this with I. So if I value is 1, then the inner loop, J value is also 1. The number of columns are also 1. If I value is 2, then J value is also 2. J means I'm taking one more variable for inner loop, number of columns, right? So this is I and this is what? This side I and this side J. So for first row I, J is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. So we know simply inner loop should run from J is equal to 1 till J less than equal to I and J plus plus. Till less than equal to I. Because whatever the I value, only that many number of columns we are having in that row. So same J should run till I only. And then within this we can simply print. Then you have to identify what actually you want to print. Here you want to print asterisk, simple asterisk. After this you just have to print system.out.println for new line. That's it. So only 3 or 4 steps are there. First, number of lines or number of rows. Identify and outer loop should run till that. Second, number of columns in each row that you have to identify. Okay. And somehow you have to establish the relationship between number of rows and number of columns. Somehow using some mathematical basic math plus minus into anything. Here that simple one because this is simple star pattern, simple pattern. Okay. Here no, you don't need to apply any like maths plus minus or anything. You simply have to put this condition. So just find out number of columns in each row and the inner loop should run till then. Third, what to print. Identify what to print. Here you have to print asterisk. So simply asterisk, just print in inner loop. That's it. In some cases, there are a few pattern there you have to observe the symmetry as well. So that is optional. A fourth step is also there. observe some symmetry. But that thing we'll see when we will discuss that type of questions. For now, you just have to focus on three things, and that's it. You can solve any pattern question. So this is, I guess, simple one. Let's try out. I'll show you the output. Okay, so we are discussing the coding exercises we are doing in the another project. That is a project name is coding exercises. So let's open this, and this in this project, let's just create a new Java class, and here we simply star pattern printing. That's it. So here we will discuss. We'll write on all the programs, all the star pattern programs in this. So first is the simplest one. This is a simple one, the first one. This first pattern we are printing. Okay. So we have figured it out. The outer loop should run till I1 till suppose. Let's take number of rows from input from user, not just hard code like 5 or 6. Let's create a object of scanner class. So let's take a variable n or abc or rows, anything you can take. I'm taking here simply n. N is equal to whatever input you will take, next int. So basically number of rows user will enter, right? Or first, let's decorate a little bit. It should print like something like this. Welcome to pattern printing exercises. So it will show something like this first, and then you'll ask enter number of rows. So we know outer loop should run till n. That is for sure. Number of rows. We have figured it out. And the inner loop for this, we have already figured out that it should be j till less than equal to I and j plus plus. And here we simply print what actually you want to print, that is star. And outside of this, simply just for a new line. That's it. So let's just select here current file and run this. Enter number of rows 5. Okay, we have done something wrong here. So rather than println, we should print here. See, this thing you need to take care. Simply print. Otherwise, one asterisk it would print, and then next asterisk it would print in next line. If you write here println, make sure you write here only print, not println. So let's run this again and see now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are getting only 4 number of rows, so it should be less than equal to n, right? This thing you need to take care. Or you can take here, write down I is equal to 0. 0 till I less than n. That is fine. Same j is also 0 and less than equal to I. But here I'm starting this loop from 1 only. So 5 and C. This is the exactly that triangle we want. Right? Right angle triangle. Now what you need to do is, for first few patterns, you have to dry run each and every pattern. Let me this dry run this program for you. So for this, simply we are having these two loops. N value here is 5 because I want 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number of rows are 5. Okay, so I value would be increasing from here to here. First I value is 1. So first we have I value is 1. Condition true, I less than equal to I, and yes, because n is 5. So enter here. Now j is 1. So now j becomes 1. Is this condition true? 1 less than equal to I value is also 1. Yes, these are equal. So control will enter here and only one star would be printed. Now j plus plus. Now j becomes 2. Check the condition. Is 2 less than equal to 1? Because I is 1. No. So out of this loop, that is new line. This line would be executed and this will cursor would be here now. Now I plus plus. Now I becomes 2. Right? Is this condition true? Yes. 2 is less than equal to 5. Yes. Enter here. Now again j would become 1. So now again check. Now j is 1. So 1 less than equal to, at this point of time, I is 2. I is 2. Yes, condition true. Enter here. One asterisk would be printed. Again j plus plus, j becomes 2. Again this condition true because I is 2. 2 is less than equal to 2. Yes. So again one asterisk would be printed here. J becomes 3. Now this condition is not true. So out of the inner loop, that is, this new line would be executed. Now cursor is here. Now I plus plus. Now I becomes 3. Condition still true. Enter here. Now for 3, this loop would run for iterate for 3 times because j once again becomes 1 and condition is j less than equal to I. I is 3. At this, for this iteration, I is 3. So I j1, 1 star would be printed. Then j2, again this loop would run. J3, again this loop would run. Once j becomes 4, this condition is not true. Now new line. Now I plus plus, I becomes 4. Now for I4, again j becomes 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So 4 star would be printed because still 4 condition is true. Once j becomes 5, again cursor would be out of this inner loop, that is this for the new line in the next line. Then I plus plus, I becomes 5, condition still true. For I5, this inner loop would be iterated 5 times. So here 5 star would be printed, right? And once j becomes 6, out of this loop, that is a new line. Now I becomes 6. At this point of time, this condition is not true because 6 less than equal to 5, no. So exit from the program, and this is the pattern. So simply you have to find out number of rows first, then in each row how many columns you want to print and what to print. These 3 things. Let's discuss the next loop. The next pattern. Next is this. So it is something like this, but it is opposite of this, right? So let me show you how to print this thing. Next is something like this, right? So same, how many lines we have? Number of lines are n. N here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the outer loop should run here, n is equal to 5. Same. So I would be 1 and I less than equal to n, I plus plus. That is for sure. One thing is done. Inner loop. J is equal to, now inner loop. See, in each row, in this first row, obviously we cannot print from here. In computer, it always be printed from here. So first we have some space, then star. Two things are there now. We are not simply printing a string. You have to identify what to print. First, how many spaces are there? 1 in the first line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 space, then star. So 4 space and 1 star. These are spaces, these are stars. In the next line, 1, 2, 3. 3 space, 2 star. So 3 and 2. Then 2 space, 3 star. Then 1 space, 4 star. And then 0 space and 5 star. Something like this. So 2 things we are printing here. First space, then star. So within this outer loop, we will be having 2 for loops. So one loop will print space, one loop will print asterisk. First, let's print spaces. For spaces, let's find out the condition. So when for the first line, I is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Right? Because I would iterate from 1 to 5. So this is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, row number. If I value is 1, then the inner loop should iterate 4 times. When I value is 2, the inner loop should iterate 3 times. The space loop, the loop which is responsible to print spaces. So you have to find out the condition. So can we write something like this, the termination condition, that j is equal to 1 and till j less than equal to n minus I. Because for the first line, n is fixed, that is 5. So for the first line, 5 minus I value is 1, that is 4. For the second line, N is same 5 minus I value is 2. 2. That is 3. For the third line, 5 minus here I value is 3. 3. So that is 2. So same 4, 3, 2, and then 1 and then 0, because 5 minus 4, then 5 minus 5. So this is the condition we need to put to print number of spaces. That is n minus I and j plus plus. So just you have to do a little bit of, you have to think a little bit. You have to identify, establish the relationship between n, the number of rows, and I and j, this thing, and do some plus minus into, and you have to find out the condition till when the inner loop will iterate. So we have find out that till n minus I the inner loop should iterate, right? So this loop will print only space. That's it. So now spaces are done. Now asterisk. Now handle this thing. So in first line only 1 star, then 2, 2 star, 3, 3 star, 4, 4 star, 5, 5 star. So same, whatever the number of I, number of columns are, number of stars are, that much only. I is 1, 1 star. I is 2, 2 star. 3, 3 star. 4, 4 star. 5, 5 star. That's it. One more loop is there, that is, we can say j is equal to 1 and j less than equal to I. This thing we have already discussed in previous lecture, previous pattern. And here simply print asterisk. That's it. And after both the inner loops, simply just write down for a new line. That's it. So this loop is to print spaces. This loop is to print asterisk. So within this outer loop, we are having two inner loop. One is this, two is second is this. I hope you got this thing. Let's run this and see. So let's just name it pattern 1 and just comment out this, and then we do, we write down program for the next pattern. So int I is equal to 1 and number of lines are I less than equal to same and I plus plus. So the outer loop is very simple. Now there are two inner loops. So one is for spaces, j is equal to 1, j less than equal to, we know the condition, we have find out n minus I and j plus plus. This loop will simply print space. Sorry. Shortcut is SOUT, and this will simply print space, but you need to take care one thing here, not println, simply print. Another for loop is to print j is equal to 1, j less than equal to I for stars and j plus plus. And here simply print v, not space, it's star. Okay, not println, it's simply print. And after both the loops, simple this line. You got it? Now let's run this and see. First it will ask number of rows, that is value of n. Number of rows 5. See. You got it? Let's run this again. For a new number of rows, that is 7. See. So this is the second pattern we have done. Right? Now you just do one thing. You pause the video, write down this thing and dry run this. Okay? If you want to check out, if you want to debug, that also we can do. Like suppose let's add some breakpoint here. In this for loop, in this for loop, and here what they want to print, and in here. Let's add breakpoints and right click and then just debug. So it will show you how actually this thing is running. So at first on console, it will print like enter number of rows. See, the control is here. Enter number of rows, we are done. So let's just enter only 3. Now control is here in the first for loop. The first breakpoint is here only. So it will stop here. N is 3 because we have inputted n is 3. Let's just step over. Now I is 1 we know and n is 3. Let's step over. Now see, j is 1 after this line. After this line, j has been initialized with 1. So I1, j1, and n is 3. So first, let's see on the console, one space would be printed. See, the cursor moved from here to here. So one space has been printed. Now, if you step over, then j becomes 2. See, j becomes 2. If you step over, see the cursor now here, here. It will move here to here. See, when I will step over, see, second space has been printed. Step over. Now, condition is not true. So, and control will go here only. Let's step over. For the next for loop, it will print asterisk. So let's step over. One star would be printed. Let's step over again. Now the condition is not true. So out of those inner loops are simply new line. So now we are in a next line. See, right? Let's step over again. Now I becomes 2, n is 3, I is 2. And see now after that, once I will step over, then j becomes 1. See, j becomes 1. So this inner loop will go now till 1 only, because till n minus I. So n is 3, I is 2. So 3 minus 1 is 3 minus 2 is 1. So only one time the inner loop would be executed. That is, only one space would be printed. Only one space would be printed here. Okay. Let's step over. Then one asterisk. Now this loop would execute two times. 2 star would be printed, right? Then new line. Then again I plus plus. Now I becomes 3. This condition is not true because j is not n minus I. N minus I is now 0 because n is 3, I is 3. Both are 3, 3, so 0. But j is 1. So this condition not true means no space would be printed. Control will be in the next loop. So now 3 star would be printed. 1, then step over 2 star, then 3 star. Then new line, simply I plus plus. Now I becomes 4. So this condition is not true. Once I becomes 4, so exit. So this is the pattern. So this is how you can debug. But better to dry run this rather than debugging. Write down this on a piece of paper and dry run this. For the first few programs, please dry run each and every step. Then only you will get to know how these conditions you can frame by doing some mathematics, right? So now let's look at the third pattern. Third is this. So this is opposite of this, right? Let's discuss this. So third pattern is this. Same, you have to identify how many lines are there. 5. So n is equal to 5. So we know outer loop will go from 1 to 5, 1 to n. This I hope simply you can write down because we have written many times. Now inner loop. In the first line, when I is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Like this I will iterate. So when I is 1, we have 5 stars. So j is 5. Number of columns are 5. When I is 2, number of columns are 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. So number of columns are decreasing, right? So if you do for I is equal to 1 to n, so for j what you can print, j is equal to, we cannot say like j is equal to 1 to I. No, because when I is 1, it should be 5. So we can simply do one thing, we can reverse the loop. So j is equal to n till j greater than equal to I and j minus minus. Simple. This also we can do. It's not compulsory that every time you have to do plus plus. We can do minus minus also. So at first j is equal to n is 5. So at first j is 5. J should be greater than equal to I. And at first I was 1. I was 1. So it will print, this will run till 5 to 1. So 5 times. For next iteration, 5 to, for next iteration I becomes 2. So it will run from 5 to 2, means 5, 4, 3, 2. That's it, not 1. So only 4 star. For next iteration, it will run 5, 4, 3. because I is 3 only. Condition is this. For next iteration 5 and 4 for next 5. So one time it will repeat, then 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time. So like this also we can do. Within this we can simply print here asterisk, and after that simply new line, and that's it. Or second way is we can also do one thing. The outer loop we can run something like this. Suppose I is equal to n and I greater than equal to 1, I minus minus. So same number of times, outer loop would iterate 5 times, number of n times. Whether you can write 1 to n or n to 1, number of iterations would be same, we know, right? And inner loop would be same. J is equal to 1 and j less than equal to I, j plus plus. Simply print here asterisk and SOP. This is second way. So one approach is this, second way is this. So it's not like that only one way is there to print these patterns. There are so many ways. In many ways you can write down these loops, the termination condition, and this kind of thing. It's not like that whatever I write that is the final one. No, you just try out different, you just think and try out different ways to print. So let's just write down for this program. So this was a pattern 2. Let's just comment out this pattern and code for the next one. So we are printing I is equal to 1 till I less than equal to n and I plus plus, the outer loop, n times. The inner loop condition is, we know, j is equal to n in reverse order, because in reverse order I want to print. So let's just reverse either the inner loop or the outer loop. That is up to you. Greater than equal to 1 and sorry, greater than equal to I, not 1, and j minus minus. And in simply this with will print star. And after that, this, and please remove this println. That's it. Let's run this. It will ask first the number of rows. So number of rows are 5. See the pattern. So that's exactly we want, right? Here you no need to take care about the space and all, because from here it would start printing. So there is no space here. We are printing only star. You don't need to take care about this space, whatever is there after the line. You need to take care of the space if this is before starting of the line. That you need to print, because that is for sure that this would be started printing from left to right. So no need to take care about the space after the line, right? That would be automatically handled. So that is a third pattern. Let's go for now the fourth one. So pause the video and try this out. Every time I say the fourth pattern or the next pattern is this, you have to think first, pause the video and try this out, because we have already covered these kind of 3 patterns, and this is this, right? So let's discuss this thing now. Okay, this is a pattern. So we know find out n is equal to here 5. So we know outer loop should run int like I is equal to 1 and I less than equal to n, that is for sure I plus plus 5 number of lines. See the inner loop now. So first line there are 5 stars. In second line we are having one space and 4 star. Then 2 space and 3 star. Then 3 space and 2 star, then 4 space and 1 star, and at first we have 0 space and 5 star. So you have to handle two thing here. One is space, one is star, and this kind of thing we have already done, right? But here spaces are increasing. At first it was 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. And the number of stars are decreasing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So two loops you need to take care, you need to write. One is to handle space. So let's print like j is equal to 1 and j should be less than I and j plus plus. Why less than I? Because I is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this. I would be 1 till 5. Number of rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I is 1, there is no space. When I is 2, there is 1 space. When I is 3, there are 2 spaces. Okay. So we can run this loop till 1 to less than I. So at first j is 1, and at the first iteration I is also 1, but 1 less than equal to 1, no. This condition is not true. So we are not going to enter here and no space would be printed, and that's the thing I want for the first line. For the next iteration, when I becomes 2, j would again becomes 1. 1 is less than 2, yes. So 1 space would be printed. Now j plus plus, j becomes 2. 2 less than 2, no. So we will not print again the space. So only 1 space would be printed. This thing you need to take care. When to print less than equal to I, when to print less than I. Okay. One thing is handled. Within this loop now, one for loop is this, inner for loop, second is this. Second will print star. This thing we have already seen. We can do j is equal to n and j greater than equal to I and j minus minus, and simply we can print here asterisk. In the previous also we have seen this thing. That's it. These are two loops. Okay. So here the spaces are before printing the stars. That's why you have to handle this thing also. That's why I have told you 3 things you have to figure out. And one thing out of these 3 things is what to print. So here first spaces should be printed and then star should be printed. So you have to handle both the things. One loop is for space, one loop is for star. But if same like space is like after printing this, after this. So you don't need to handle after this. Right? But if before space is there, before printing the star, then you have to handle those spaces as well. So let's just run this code as well. So we can do one thing. This is pattern 3. So rather than writing again and again, let's just copy paste this and now comment this out. Because few lines are same, na? We know. The outer loop will be from 1 to n, that is for sure. This is for printing the asterisk, that is for sure. From n to I it will run. One more loop you have to add to print space. So that you need to add. So int j is equal to 1 till j less than I, we know, and j plus plus. And here simply print space. That's it, but no println, it's simply print. Two loops are there. This loop is to print spaces and this loop is to print stars. Two loops are there. Two inner loops. Let's run this and see. Number of rows 5, and see that's exactly we want, right? If you run this again for 10 number of rows, this is the pattern. Okay, next one is this. This one is little bit tricky, so let's find out how to write down the code. Okay, no, not this one. This one is the next pattern. So we are doing what in this pattern? It is like in this case, you have to observe something. First, this pattern increasing the number of stars till here. I mean, this pattern, something like this. And then this. So combination of these two. Something like this. Not exactly the combination, but something like this. Because if you combine this and this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5, the line having 5 star would be printed 2 times. But here, the maximum number of star line is printed only 1 time. So it's kind of combination, but not exact combination of these two. So till here, number of stars are increasing. After that, number of stars are decreasing. Let's try out, find out the logic. So pattern is something like this, right? And after that, it is decreasing, something like this. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When n is 5, total number of maximum stars are 5. So number of lines are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So can we say Number of lines are 2 raised to power n minus 1. 5 into 2, 10 minus 1, that is 9. Okay. So the outer loop should run from I is equal to 1 till I less than equal to 2 raised to power, 2 into n minus 1, I plus plus. Rather than doing like 1, 2, it's not like that number of lines are 9 here or 10 here. You have to find out some this kind of thing also. So this is number of maximum star are 5 only. So we can do something like this. N is 5 and the total number of lines are 2 raised to power n minus 1. If number of stars are 4, suppose n is 4. So it would be something like this. The pattern would be something like this. So how many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same 2 raised 2 into n minus 1. If n is equal to 4, then it will give you 7. If n is equal to 5, it will give you 9. And that's exactly we want. So outer loop should run 2 into n minus 1. That this can also be a case. Many times you will use this condition in many patterns. Okay, outer loop condition, we are done with this. Now, inner loop. So identify one thing till 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Till 5, number of stars are increasing. Number of columns are 1. If I is 1, number of column 1. If I is 2, number of columns are 2. So same as I, there are number of columns till 5. Till 5. After that, decreasing. So you have to flip somehow this kind of thing. Or you can do one thing. One for loop to handle this and another for loop to handle this. Two for loop also you can use. So if suppose we follow the pattern 2 for loop. So write down this thing. For j is equal to 1 and j should be less than equal to I and j plus plus. This is for the upper half. We are dealing with this upper half till here. Okay, wait. For this, if you want to print this in two half, like this half and this half, two times, then you have to change this condition also. Because this condition is for total number of lines, that is 9. But I want to print in two half this pattern. One is this, second is this. So rather than writing this thing, outer for loop is we write something like this. Int I is equal to first is 1, then I less than equal to whatever n is 5 here, right? So till 5 we are going to deal first. So this will print the upper half and I plus plus. Then inner loop, j is equal to 1, j less than equal to I. We know how to print this thing. It is very simple. It was the first pattern we have done. And j plus plus. And simply within this we simply print asterisk. And here simple new line. That's it. So this code will deal with the upper half. Now let's print the lower half. For lower half, the outer pattern is, so the outer loop is, see, I would be 4, 3, 2, 1. It's not 5. N is 5, but it should be n minus 1. So I should start from suppose n minus 1 till I greater than is equal to 1 and I plus minus minus, sorry. And simply within this, j would be 1. J would be less than less than equal to I and j plus plus. That's it. And within this simply print asterisk, then SOP and then close. So this outer loop, inner loop, this is for upper half, this outer loop, this inner loop is for lower half. Inner loop is same, the condition only we have changed the outer loop condition. This will run from 1 to n, this will run from n minus 1 to 1. Or if you don't want to change the upper condition, suppose here also you want to run from 1 to n, 1 to n minus 1, then you have to change this j. Okay. Now j should be n minus 1 till n minus 1 and greater than equal to I, something like this. Either you can change outer loop or the inner loop. So let's just write down the code in our ID and let's see what it is printing. Let's comment out pattern 4 and let's write down for pattern 5. There are two approaches. So we'll deal with the upper half first. We are going to print upper half first. So this is very simple. This is, I guess, simple one. The first, whatever the first pattern we have discussed, this is the same. So let's just copy paste the first one. Why to write again and again? We have done this thing already, right? I till here to here. Now the second half or the lower half of that pattern. For that we will run int I is equal to n minus 1 and I is greater than equal to 1 and I minus minus. Inner loop should be same. J would be from 1 to less than equal to I. And within inner loop we know we have to print asterisk. But no println here and then a simple new line. That's it. Let's run this and see if we will enter n is equal to 5. See, it is printing exactly what we want. If n is equal to suppose 6, so see, right? So this is one approach and this is the simple one. Any beginner can think something like this. It's not that much hard. Just divide that thing in two half and just print. That's it. I hope you got this thing why I'm taking this n minus 1 and this. Suppose you take simply n and you run this. Now you see the difference. The maximum stars are 5. So in two lines there would be 5 and 5. But that thing we don't want. We want the maximum star line only one time. Then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. That's why we are running this loop from n minus 1, not n. Right? Now one more approach is what we can do is so we don't want to print this in two half. We just want to print within one outer loop. So for in that case, I should be 1 and I should be less than equal to 2n minus 1, right? And I plus plus. Here in this case, n is equal to 5. So total number of lines are 9. That is 2n minus 1. Now, I is 1, then 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When till I is equal to 5, we are increasing. So the number of columns are whatever the I value is. So we can say number of stars. Suppose number of stars are whatever the I, right? If we can put something like this, if this I becomes greater than n, because here I is 6, because I is increasing from 1 to 9. I is greater than n now because n is 5. N is 5. Then number of stars becomes decreasing. If this is the case, then number of stars would be how many number of stars? First 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, something like this. Number of stars, or you can say number of columns in each row. Because that's exactly we put the condition for inner loop. Outer loop condition we have already figured out. Till now, the inner loop condition is till this stars would be I. After that, it should be 2, we can say 2 into n minus I. That's simple one. So when I is 6, 2 into n is 10, 10 minus I, 10 is minus 6, that is 4. So that's exactly we want. When I is 7, 10 minus 7, that is 3. That's exactly I want. When I is 8, 10 minus 8, that is 2. 10 minus 9, that is 1. So that's exactly we want. So once I reach to this condition, I greater than n, then number of stars becomes 2 raised to power n minus I. So two conditions are there for inner loop. So within this outer loop, this inner loop should run j is equal to 1 and j should be less than equal to stars, whatever the stars value is, and j plus plus. And within this simply print star. That's it. Because before this inner loop, this condition would be checked. If this is the case, then stars become this. And in that case, here we put this condition. I mean, stars would automatically be, the value would be this. If this is not true, then stars value is I. So in that case, here stars is I. So this condition obviously you need to change to print upper half and lower half. And this is how we are handling this thing, the changing of this condition. Because stars, we are putting here a variable stars or number of stars, and this number of stars variable we are changing based on the condition. Right? This one is pattern 5, right? And this is the first approach. So let's just comment out this one. You can go for this approach as well. And this is second approach. So second approach in second one. So there is one inner loop. We know that is going to handle the printing of star, but we need to find out this condition. We don't know this condition. What is this condition? Some condition is there, termination condition. This thing you need to find out, and then j, something like j plus plus. And within this, we are printing simply star. Just, and after this, simply a new line. That's it. So this condition you need to find out, and that thing we know. We take a variable int like number of stars is equal to I. But if I would be greater than n, in that case, we are going to change this variable number of star. Number of stars becomes now 2 into n minus I. This is the case. And here you have to simply run this in a loop till number of stars. That's it. So based on the condition, based on this thing, this condition, this number of star would be changed. Right? Let's run this and see. 5 and see. This is what we want. Right? Now go for the next. So this is our next pattern. So this is a pattern, right? Here n is equal to 5. So we know outer loop should run till I is equal to 1 and I less than equal to 5, because number of lines you want to print are 5, I plus plus. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I value would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this. N is equal to 5. So outer loop should print number of lines, that is 5. That is for sure. Next, inner loop. Now, here we are having spaces also. So you have to deal first print space, then star. So in the first, we are having how many space? 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. In second, 1, 2, 3 spaces. Then 2 space, then 1 space, and then this. This is the pattern. So 4 space, 1 star, 3 space, 3 star, 2 space, 5 star, 1 space, 7 star, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 0 space, and here we have 3, 6 and 9 stars, something like this. So these are spaces and these are stars. So you have to deal with two things. Space, I guess this is not a big issue. We have done this thing also previously, how to print this thing. Simply for space, we can run a loop. J is equal to 1 and j less than equal to n minus I. This thing we have discussed already. And j plus plus. Within this, simply print space. That's it. Right? This will handle space. N minus I, and n is 5. So for first, n is 5 minus 1, that is 4. So that's exactly we want 4 space. For second row, 5 minus 2, that is 3. 5 minus 3, that is 2. Something like this. And this exactly we want, number of spaces. So condition is, we got the condition, n minus I. Now for star, in the one first line, number of stars are 1, then 3, then 5, then 7, then 9. So you have to find out how to write down this loop condition. First, it should run 1 time, then 3 times, then 5 times, then 7 times, then 9 times. So one more loop that will handle number of stars. So within this loop, we are printing stars. So you have to find out condition for this. Suppose j is 1 and j should run till, it's not that much tough. You have to think a little bit, and it can be something like this: 2 into I minus 1. Because for first line, I is 1, I is 1. So 2 into I minus 1, 2 into 1 minus 1, that is 1. So in one line, it will print 1 star. In second line, 2 into I, that is 2 into 2 minus 1, that is 3. For third line, I is 3. So 2 into 3 minus 1, that is 5. For fourth line, 2 into 4 minus 1, that is 7. And that's exactly we want. For the next, minus 1, that is 9. That's exactly we want. So the condition would be 2i minus 1. So see, this thing you need to remember, you need to observe. It's not like that, ma'am. How we get to know that we need to put this condition? Yeah, your question is valid, but this thing will come to you when you solve many pattern questions. You have to find it out. You have to figure out. You have to think how I can draw something like this, a pattern 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Just have to find out the relationship between the I or n using n. I see what variable you have. You have only n, you have I. Okay, that's the thing. Now you can apply some mathematic operation plus minus into something like this. And you have to find out some condition. That is the only way. So you have to think, right? And once you solve many pattern question, you will automatically get to know that, okay, this type of pattern is there. So this condition can be there. So this should be I less than equal to 2 into I. This things comes with practice. There is no shortcut, right? And j plus plus and simply print star. That's it. This loop will print spaces. This loop will print stars. Let's run this. So we are done with pattern 5. Now it's pattern 6. So for this we have the outer loop I is equal to 1 and less than equal to n. This is for sure and this is simple one. But inner loop, there are two inner loops. So one is for space and that would run till n minus I and j plus plus. Here simply we are going to print some spaces, no print ln. Next loop will print number of stars. So into j is equal to 1 and j less than equal to what condition we have? We have got 2 into I minus 1 j plus plus. And within this simply we can print star. That's it. And after these loops, just for a new line, this. Let's run this and see. Number of rows 5. So see, this is the pattern exactly we want. Number of rows are suppose 7. So this is the pattern. Next is opposite of this, the seventh one. I guess that is also not that much tough. You can try this out. So you try this out and we will print the next pattern now. Or let's just pause the video and first you try this out and then we will discuss how to print this pattern. So this is simply the reverse of the previous one. See, the previous pattern was this one. So it is simply the reverse. So rather than changing these thing, the inner loop, we can simply change the outer loop and make it reverse. That is one way. Something like this we can write. It's pattern number 7. So we can simply write something like this. I is equal to n and I greater than equal to 1 and I minus minus. And j would be still 1 to 1 to n minus I, and printing space. And then another loop to print star is same, 1 to 1 till 2 raised to power 2 into I minus 1. And here print star. That's it. Because at first I is equal to n, and here is 5. So at first I is 5, right? Is this condition true? Yes. Enter here. Now j becomes 1. J is 1. N minus I. N is 5. I is also 5. That is 0. So is this condition true? Is j less than, uh, sorry, j is, yeah, less than equal to n minus I. So is this condition true? No, because this is 0 and j is 1. So this condition not true means we will not enter here, we will not print any space, and that is the thing we want. In the first line there is a 0 space and 9 star. So now control will go to the next loop. Now again we have j, so j becomes 1, and j would be less than equal to 2 into I minus 1. So I is here at first 5, 2 into 5, that is 10 minus 1, that is 9. So j is 1, it is less than equal to 9, yes. Enter here, print 1 star. So this loop will run. Now j becomes 2, then 3, then 4 up to 9. So it will print first 9 star. Right? Now j becomes 10. So this loop condition is not true. Now whatever you print for the new line, control will go there and the cursor is here now. Right? Now again I minus minus. At this point of time I becomes 4. Is this condition true? Yes. Enter here. Now j becomes 1. Now j is again 1. And j is less than equal to n minus I. N is 5. I at this point of time is 4. So it becomes 1. So 1 less than equal to 1? Yes. Now we enter here and only one space would be printed. And that's exactly we want, one space here. Once j becomes 2, this condition is not true because n minus I here is 1 and j is 2. Okay. Now we enter here. Now this loop would be executed something like this. So you can try run this and you can see you will get this output. So you have to change only the outer loop. Or if you don't want to change the outer loop, you can change the inner loop as well. So that thing you need to do, your assignment. Don't change outer loop. Outer loop should be 1 to n, and just change the inner loops to print this pattern. Okay, let's run this and see. So this was pattern 6. Just copy paste this and let's comment out this. And you have to change pattern 6 a little bit. We are going to change just my mistake, the outer loop. It would be from I till equal to 1 and then plus plus minus minus, not plus plus minus minus. Inner loop would be same. Let's run this and see the pattern. So it's 5 and see this is the inverted pattern. Okay. So sometimes you have to change it a little bit and you will get your next pattern. Now next is this. So there is also you have to observe something, the symmetry. Till here we are increasing with this and then decreasing something, right? Or you can combine this pattern 6 and 7. But the line which is having the maximum number of stars would appear only once. This you need to take care. So for this you need to handle the lower half or maybe the upper half. Any one upper half or lower half you can handle. You can do n minus 1 type of thing. Just combine these two and you will get this thing. Or a second method is also there. So two methods are there. That thing we will discuss here. Let's just first combine both these 6 and 7 and see. So this is pattern 7. Let's just copy paste first pattern 6 and then this is pattern 7. So let's copy paste this also. After pattern 6. So let's combine 6 and 7. The first, let's just comment out pattern 7 here. And this we are dealing with pattern 8. Okay. Let's do not change anything and let's run this. Just we have combined both 6 and 7 pattern and we haven't changed anything, and let's combine. So the thing is here, see, this line is 2 times. The line having maximum number of star is 2 times. So but that thing I want only 1 time. You can change this a little bit. This will deal with the upper half, this thing, and this will deal with the lower half. So we can simply do n minus 1 here. Let's run this and see. 5. See now. You are getting a diamond pattern, right? So sometimes you just have to combine the patterns and that's it. Now next is this ninth pattern. This is hollow, square or rectangle. Only at the boundaries we are printing star, and otherwise there is no star, there is only space. So you have to print star and space, two things. Let's discuss how to print this thing. So first let's just print a hollow square. How many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose n is equal to 5. So we know outer loop should run I is equal to 1, I should be less than equal to n, and I plus plus. That is for sure. Inner loop. So we have two things in inner loop. Somewhere we are printing star, somewhere there is space. Right? So I is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this. And J will handle something like this, number of columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like this. So within this, J also should run from 1 to less than equal to n, J plus plus. Because number of columns are also 5 for each row, right? So here simply we can write n number of, because n is 5, that is for sure. But here we cannot simply print star. You have to take care of one thing. Can we say if at the boundaries we are having star only, so it's like that. If I is equal to 1 at this place, we are having star. Or if I equal to n, because n is 5, then also we have star. Yes, or we are having star here and at these boundaries. So here j equal to we are having 1. When j is 1, then also we are having star. Or when j equal to n, n is 5, then also we have star. Otherwise just print space. So we can put this condition in if, like if whatever you have, right, I is equal to 1, or I is equal to n, or j is equal to 1, or j is equal to n. This condition complete here, right? Then simply print star. Else print space. That's it. So let's just run this. Let's just write down the program. I hope you got this condition. So we are dealing with pattern 9, right? Okay. Outer we know we are printing hollow square. Fine, hollow square. So 1 square means both the side, all the sides are equal. So I should be less than equal to whatever the n value is, and I plus plus. And if it's a square, then obviously for j also, like int j is equal to 1 and j also less than equal to n and j plus plus. Because for every row there is 5 columns. Now put some condition. If What was the condition? I equal to 1 or I equal to n or j equal to 1 or j equal to n. If this is the case, then only we are going to print star, right? In else, what we will print? Space. There is no println, there is only print. And after this inner for loop, we simply print new line. That's it. See, that is so much simple. Just you have to think a little bit. Just watch, analyze the pattern and think a little bit. That's it. See. But what if I don't want to print a square? I want to print a rectangle. Number of rows are different, number of columns are different. In that case, that also we can do. Number of rows, we have already taken the input from the user at the starting. So here we can just take one more input, that is like enter number of columns. Okay. And in for this we will just take a variable int columns is equal to scanner object we already have next int. So the outer loop should run till n, till number of rows we know. The inner loop handle number of columns. So inner loop not till n, it should be till columns. Now you have to change this condition also. I is 1, I is equal to n, that is fine. Or j is 1 or j is equal to not n, j equal to whatever the column value is. Whatever this value is. Then star, otherwise space. I guess that is simple one. That is not that much stuff. You can easily modify this thing. Number of rows 5. Number of columns 7. So yeah, that's fine. And that's the thing we want, right? We just run this for another one. Number of rows suppose 10. Number of columns suppose 15. So this is the hollow pattern, hollow rectangle type of thing, right? Now the next pattern is this hollow triangle. Triangle we have done, but this is something different. Now this type of triangle we have done, but there were all the stars, but here we have space, right? So here n value is 5. So we know outer loop will run till I is equal to 1 and I less than equal to number of rows. How many rows? 5. And I plus plus, right? So I is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Then j, number of columns. For first, only 1. For second row, 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. So this thing we know for sure. Can we say the inner loop will run till less than equal to I? J plus plus. This thing we have already seen. Because whatever the value of I, those many columns we are having in each row. Here 1, number of I is 2, so 2 star only, number of I is 3, then only 3 things. One is star, then space, then star. Here 4 thing, star, then 2 space, then star, then 5 star. So this J would be from 1 to I only, that is for sure. But now we cannot print star at every place. You have to take care of this thing. Where to print the star and where to print the space? See, if I is equal to what we can say n, one thing is for sure. See, this I is n is 5. So once I becomes 5, all the stars, there are all the stars. We will print star. Or when j equal to 1, there also we can print star. Like j is 1, then here we have 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Something like this. J will handle the number of columns, I will handle number of rows. So when j value is 1, then at every row there is a star. That is for sure. Now how to find out the position of these stars? See. Now when, see here, I value is 2, j value is also 2. For this star, I value is 3, j value is 3. For this star, I value is 4, j value is 4. For this star, I value is 5, j value is 5, right? So one we can put or j equal to I. If this is the case, you can put if this condition here, then print only star, else space. Simple. And these are very simple one. I hope you got this. You just have to figure out something. Where to print star. Just put that condition, else just print space. Right? Let's comment out pattern 9. And now we will discuss pattern number 10, that is hollow rectangle. So int I is equal to outer loop we know till n we are going to run this. That is for sure. Inner loop. So j is equal to 1 and it should run till less than equal to I. That also we have figured out. Okay. But if now put the condition, if I is equal to n or j equal to 1 or I equal to j, then only you have to print star, else you have to print space. Just but you have to remove this ln, otherwise you will get error. Now after this if else, after this you can say this is else. So this is the inner loop. After this inner loop you have to print new line. Let's run this and see. N value we are giving suppose 5. So yeah, that is the thing we want. N value is suppose 10. Yeah, exactly we want this thing only. Next is this. So this is a little bit different from the previous pattern we have seen this pattern. Here in the second line we were printing 3 star then 5 star. But here 1 then 2 star only, then 3 then 4 then 5. A little bit it is different. So you pause the video and try this pattern out, then you see the solution. Do not directly jump to the solution, otherwise you will not be good at logic building. Okay, so pause the video and think and then watch the solution. Let's try out how to write down this pattern. So first, then 2 star, then 1 2 3, then 1 2 3 4, something like this we want, right? After every star there is a space, right? And 1 star. So before also we have to deal with the space because here we are having space. So 1 2 3 4 space. In first line we are having 4 space 1 star. Then 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 3 space 2 star. Then 2 space 3 star. 1 space 4 star. 0 space 5 star. And this is the case when n is equal to 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Number of lines are 5. So we know for sure outer loop will go from 1 to less than equal to n and I plus plus. That's it. Now you have to write down one inner loop to handle the spaces. And this thing we have already done many times. So j is equal to 1 and j less than equal to, we can simply write n minus I and j plus plus. And then we can simply print space. That's it. Because n is 5. So at first we are having 4 space. So n minus I. Here we have I1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. 5 minus 1, that is 4. That's exactly we want. For second line, I is 2. So 5 minus 2, that is 3. And how many spaces we want? 3. That's why the condition is this. We have already figured out that this is the condition to print this kind of thing. Right? Now, when I is 1, there is only 1 star. When I is 2, 2 star. When I is 3, 3 star. Right? When I is 4, there are 4 stars. So this loop can run from 1 to less than equal to I only. That's it. And here we can print star plus, or rather than plus, we can simply print star, here space, that's it. Star, one space, that's it. And after that, for new line, and close the outer loop, that's it. So this loop will handle spaces, this loop will handle the star. Simple. Let's run this and see. Previous was pattern 10, and now we are coding for pattern 11. So for I is equal to 1 till I less than equal to 1, and that thing we know for sure. This is the outer loop. Then inner loop for spaces. J is equal to 1, j less than equal to n minus I, and j plus plus. And this loop will only print space. That's it. Now just print star. This loop will handle star. So j less than equal to I, j plus plus. And here we will simply print here star with one, sorry, star, and after that we have one space. Okay, and there is no println, only print. And after this, simply one for new line. That's it. Yeah, these are simple one. You just have to think a little bit. So let's run this for 6 number of rows, and yeah, this is the thing we want. Okay, this was this, and this is inverted of this. So that is also not that much stuff. You have to change a little bit the outer condition we can change. So pause the video and try out this 12th pattern. Inverted. So if we change here only, let's change here only. I is n, and this should be greater than equal to 1, and I minus minus. Minus minus. And everything else is same. For handling the space, for printing the star is same, and we have just inverted the outer loop. Let's run this and I'll show you if you're getting the output or not. I'm not sure. 5, and yeah, this is the output we want. So here you have to change a little bit. If you're not getting, you can just pause the video and you can try run this and you will get that. See, one thing for sure is if you're getting an error or if you're not getting, like why you are getting this kind of output, then the best way is write down that code on a piece of paper and dry run that line by line. Then you will get, yeah, okay. That's why we are getting this kind of output, and here you have to change. Okay. So this is 12th pattern. Or if you don't want to write this thing, if you want that this should be 1 to n only, then you can change the inner loop condition also, but that is for your assignment. This pattern, I'm not changing this outer like n to n to 1. No, this is would be same 1 to n. What you need to change in this inner loop, you have to think and you have to modify to get that inverted triangle. Okay, now the next pattern is this one. So this is somewhat the combination of these patterns, pattern numbers 2 and 4. If you combine 2, then 4, then somehow it's not exact combination, but we can combine these two and we can just figure out what to change just to get this pattern 13, right? And other way also is there. It's one way is you just deal with this pattern, something like this. You deal with in two half. This is upper half, this is lower half. This type of pattern we have already done. So either you deal with two half. For this, write down a different. For this, write down different outer loop and inner loop. That is also fine. Otherwise, you can just take it a single pattern, and n is equal to suppose 4. So here we have outer loop will run from 1 to 2 into n minus 1, because number of lines are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is 2 into 4 minus 1, that is 7. So the outer loop should run from this to this, and then we can deal within one loop only this thing based on some condition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 I value. Once I value is 4 till half, then you have to increase number of stars and decrease number of spaces. Here we have space. Once I value becomes greater than n, because n is 4, then decrease number of stars and increase number of spaces, something like this. But let's just first discuss with the first approach. Combine both the patterns in different ways. So first pattern is pattern number 2 and second is pattern number 4. So let's just copy paste all the code of 2 and 4. So this is our pattern 2. Let's copy pattern 4 as well. So we have this pattern 2, this is pattern 4. So without changing anything, let's run both the patterns and see what output we are getting. And then according to what we get, we will see what to change. Okay, this thing we are getting, but this line is 2 times. And we want to print this line only 1 time. That is simple one. You have to modify the second half. We can do something like this, -1. We will not run this till n, we will run this till n minus 1 only. So I don't know it will work or not. Let's see. Okay, it is not working. N minus 1 means this, it has removed this line, 1 star, but you have to remove this line. Right? Okay, this is not working. You have to change, obviously this will work, this will not work. We can do one thing, it should be I2 to n. Let's change this 2 to n and see what thing, what you are getting. See, now it's working fine. Okay. So like this, you have to change a little bit. Just think what you can change. Or if you are not getting what to change, then dry run this and then you will definitely get, okay, this you need to change to get the exact output. So this code will deal with the upper half and this code will deal with the lower half. But we don't want this approach. This is pattern. It's pattern 13. We want a second approach. Approach 1. Okay, let's just comment out this and we will discuss this with a second approach also. Let me show you what is that approach. So second is this approach. We run the loop, outer loop I is equal to 1 to 2n minus 1. Okay, not till n, 2n minus 1. Fine. Now, how many star or space you need to print? You have to handle two things, space as well as stars, right? So stars, how many stars you need to print? Like int stars, let's take stars I, because once I is 1, only 1 star, I is 2, 2 star, then 3, then 4. But once, if this I is greater than n, once I becomes 5, then number of stars is going to change. Stars become, now you have to figure out how to write down this thing. So just do some kind of thing. This thing we have already find out. Let us 2 raised to 2 into n minus I. 2 into n, that is 2 into 4 minus I value is here 5 for this row, 5. So 8 minus 5, that is 3, and that's 3 number of stars we need. For this I is 6. So 2 into n minus 6. 8 minus 6, that is 2. And we want 2 star. When I is 7, then rather than 6, we are having 7. 8 minus 7, that is 1. So 1 star we need. So stars become 2 into n minus I. Once I greater than n, then this is the stars. Right? So to print number of stars, there is a loop. We can write down something like this. J is equal to 1, j less than equal to stars, j plus plus. And here we can simply print star. So this loop is to print stars, right? Now we have to handle spaces. Now one thing is clear. Here we have 1, 2, 3 space, then 1, 2, then 1, then 0. Then 1 space, sorry, here we have 1 space, then 2 space, then 1, 2, 3 space, right? So n value is 4. So number of spaces in this line is, can we say n minus number of stars? Number of star is 1. So if I do n minus 1, that is 4 minus 1, then there is 3. And that's exactly 3 spaces are there. If I do n minus number of stars are 2. So n minus 2, 2 star. N is 4. 4 minus 3, 1 star. 4 minus 4, 0 star. 0 space. Not star, 2 space, 1 space, and then 0 space. Here, n is 4. So 4 minus number of stars are 3. So 4 minus 3, 1. That is 1 space. 4 minus 2 stars, 2 space. 4 minus 1, 3 space. So can we say number of spaces are n minus whatever the stars are there in that line. Simple, right? So after finding the number of stars, we can simply write here like int, we can take a variable space is equal to n minus stars. That's it. Because sometimes stars is equal to I, sometimes stars is equal to this. So according to that space, we can find out number of spaces. Because here number of spaces are decreasing, here number of spaces are increasing. That based on the stars we have, right? So one more for loop we can write down, that is j is equal to 1 and j less than equal to whatever the space we have, this variable, and then j plus plus. And here we can simply print a space. That's it. So this loop will handle space, this loop will handle star, and both the loops are within this outer loop. Outer loop will run till 1 to 2 raised 2 to n minus 1. And this condition you need to check there. Number of stars and number of space. These two things are different. So let's run this and see. So outer loop we know will be going to run till 1 to 2 raised to power n minus 1, because these number of lines we have, if n is equal to like whatever the n value, for that 2n minus 1 lines we are going to have. Okay. Now first take the variable number of stars is equal to I, but we have to change number of star. If I becomes greater than n, in that case number of stars become, we have find out what is the that condition, 2 into n minus I. This is the case. Or rather than writing this, we can write down this thing in a using a ternary operator also. So let's just comment out this thing and now use ternary operator. So we use a variable number of stars is equal to, put the condition I greater than n, ternary operator. If this is true, if I is greater than 1, so number of stars should be this. So if this is true, then we put here 2 into n minus I. It's 2, not 1, right? Else just I. So rather than writing these lines, if and this, simply in one line we can write down this thing, right? Now we have to take spaces also. Spaces equal to whatever n minus whatever the number of stars are there. That's it. Now let's handle the space first. So j is equal to 1 and j less than equal to spaces and j plus plus. Simply print here space with no ln. The next loop is going to handle number of stars. So j less than equal to, sorry, whatever number of stars are there, and j plus plus. And here simply print star without ln. And after this a new line. I guess this will work. Simple as that. Let's run this and see if it's working or not. Let's print for 5. Okay, it's working, right? And this is the pattern we want. Okay, so just try out this. You can dry run this, pause the video, write down this thing, dry run this, and see the working of this thing. Okay, now the next pattern is a little bit tough. This also we can do in two ways. We can deal with first this upper half, then we can print the lower half, something like this. That is a little bit easy. Or we can do in one program as well. But for that also you have to find out spaces, stars, based on some condition. Because sometimes spaces are increasing. Here we have space. So space is decreasing, space is increasing, stars are increasing, stars are decreasing. So based on some condition, you have to find out the condition, something, right? So something like this we have a butterfly pattern. Okay. Now we can deal with the first half, like this is the upper half and this is the lower half, right? So let's find out this in two half. First approaches. So first you have to print this triangle, then some spaces are there, then again this triangle. Three loops should be there. One outer loop that would be for 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is n is equal to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This upper half. We are going to deal with this upper half. So n is equal to 4. So I is equal to 1 and I less than equal to n and I plus plus. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 lines in this upper half. So we'll deal with n is equal to 4 we take. Until n we are going to run this. So 3 loops should be there. One loop will print this, one loop will print space, one loop will print this triangle. Got it? Now let's deal with this first. This is simple one. So j is equal to 1 and j less than equal to I and j plus plus, because this thing we have already printed many times. So in this we simply print asterisk and the star. That's it. So we are done with this. Fine. Now you have to deal with spaces. So in the first line, we are having one star. Then how many spaces? One, then two, then three. Then we have four. Then again we have five and six. There are six spaces. Then we have one, two, three, four spaces. Then we have one, two spaces. So first we have six space. Then we have four. Then we have two. Something like this, right? We know n is equal to 4. We know I for this is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So you know only I value, you know n value. So using these things only you have to figure out the termination condition or this iteration for this spaces loop, for this loop, next loop that will handle space. So first it should run 6 times, then 4 times, then 2 times. So some apply some mathematics plus minus into with n or I and do something. Think what you can do, how you can write. So it's like we can write, we cannot simply write n minus I. N minus I is what? 4 minus n is 4. I is 1 for first. So it becomes 3. But we want 6. So can we multiply this with 2? Okay, it will give you 6. Fine. But for the next row, what about next row? N would be same, that is 4 minus I is 2. It becomes 2. Yeah, if we do into 2 again, we can get 4. That is fine. Okay, we are getting 2. What about third row? N is 4. N is 4. That is fixed minus. I value is 3. It will give you 1 into 2. It will give you 2. And that's exactly we want. So what is the formula we can put? I would be 1. Sorry, j would be 1 and j less than equal to 2 into n minus I. This kind of thing. And j plus plus. So this thing you need to, think. There is no shortcut that, yeah, for this kind of pattern, this is the formula. You cannot, don't try to remember. Try to find out, try to think, try to improve your thought process so that by using whatever you have, NI or the mathematics operation, you can find out how to run the loop. Okay. Maybe at the first time you'll not get, okay, I'm not getting the condition. Fine. But once you solve 10, 15 problems, printing problem, then you will come to know, okay, this type of condition can be there, because you will be familiar with many conditions after solving 10 or 15 pattern printing problems, right? So this is the condition we can put, and here we can simply print space. So we are done with spaces as well. Now you have to write down to print this triangle, a third loop. So third loop will be same for, like this we have written. So same loop you have to write 1 j less than equal to I and j plus plus, and simply you have to print asterisk. That's it. So there are three loops. You got it? Why I'm writing these loops? This loop is for this triangle first. Second loop is for space. Again, this third loop is for this triangle. Both these loops are same. Because here also, if the I is 1, only 1 star, I is 2, only 2 star, I is 3, only 3 star, 4 star, something like this. So j would run till less than equal to I only from 1. So we are done with the upper half, right? Now you have to deal with lower half. Now lower half is, there is 3 stars. There was 4 stars. So here 3, then 2, then 1. So we can do something like this, n minus 1. We will not run the loop till 1 to n. We can run till either 2 to n or till n minus 1 to 1. So this kind of thing we can do. Let's just write down for the second half. For second half, outer loop is I would be n minus 1 till I greater than equal to 1 and I plus plus. Sorry, I minus minus, not plus plus. It's I minus minus, right? Now same 3 loop you need to write. 1 to print star. So same j is equal to 1, j less than equal to I and j plus plus. And here we are simply printing star in this loop. Second loop is for space. So j is equal to 1. Same condition, j less than equal to 2 into n minus I and j plus plus. Here we will simply print space. And third loop would be same as it is this. Why these loop are same? Because we have changed the outer loop condition. We have inverted this. That's why you don't have to change any inner loop. If outer loop you take from 2 to n minus 1, then you have to change inner loop. That thing you can do yourself. This is your assignment. Okay. Let's run this and see you are getting the output you want, the exact output or not. So we know outer loop will run till 1 to n. Then we have inner loop. This inner loop is to print first triangle, those stars. So here we simply print star in print. Then we handle space, but obviously you have to print this thing in a loop. So int j is equal to 1. For spaces we have a condition less than equal to 2 into n minus I and j plus plus. Okay, so this is to print space. Okay, next loop is same as it is this, because you want to print that star. So let's copy paste this loop. Let's remove ln, and here what you need to do, one more, that we can say new line. Let's just run this till here only, till this half. So 5 and see. This kind of pattern also you can find out that you have to print this kind of pattern. So till now we have printed this thing, right? If number of rows I change, suppose 7. So this is the pattern, like V pattern. Got it? Now you have to change lower half. This is what upper half of that pattern. Okay, or you can say this is a different pattern. Now, what about lower half? Let's just copy paste this thing only. Same. But here I would be till n minus 1 and I would be greater than equal to 1 and just inverted. This is just inverted of the upper half. I minus minus. Let's run this and see now the change in the pattern. We have 7. So this is the pattern. This was the pattern we want exactly. We have done this, right? So that is not that much tough. But if you want to discuss the second approach rather than dealing with upper half and lower half, only one pattern. I want to deal with only one outer for loop. There are two things. This is for lower half, this loop, and this is for upper half. We are dealing in two portion, two different parts. But there is another approach also. Let's discuss that thing also. So this was a pattern. N is equal to 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. So same we can run the outer loop. I is equal to 1 till I less than equal to 2n minus 1 and I plus plus. That is for sure. 2n minus 1. 2 into 4 that is 8 minus 1 that is 7. So total we need 7 lines. So that is for sure. Okay, fine. Now next you have to till I see I is 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, then 6, then 7. So till I is 4, then number of stars are something like increasing and then decreasing. Okay. And space is also here we have 1 star. Then how many spaces we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 spaces, then 1 star. Then 2 star, then 4 spaces, 2 star. Then 3 star, 2 space, and 3 star. Then 4 star, 0 space, and 4 star. Then same 3, 2, 3. Then we have 2, then space is 4, then 2, then 1, then 6, then 1, something like this. Till here, if we say like number of stars 1, 2, 3, 4 increasing, space is 6, 4, 2, 0, means it is decreasing by 2. And here, after that, space is increasing by 2, like 2, then 4, then 6, something like this. Okay. So, what we can do is int stars. Same ternary operator we can write. This thing we have already find out. I greater than n. If this is true, see, I is here 5, that is greater than n. N was 5. So if this is true, then number of stars are we have already figured out 2 raised to power n minus I. Otherwise I. Till here, I is 1, number of star is 1. I is 2, number of star 2. I is 3, number of star 3. I is 4, number of stars 4. Okay? You got it? So first we will print this, then space. Then same with this star also. If I is 1, 1 star, I is 2, then 2 star, I value is 3, then 3 star, and then 4. So till here, whatever the I value, number of stars are also same. But after that, once I becomes greater than n, number of stars is going to change. Once I is 5, number of stars are 3. So that is why this is the condition 2 into n minus I. 2 into n means 2 into n, like 8 minus 5, that is 3. So that's exactly you want 3 stars. For this, 8 minus 6, because here I is 6, that is 2. So that's exactly you want 2 star, right? So number of stars we have done. We have find out. Okay. Now you have to find out spaces. Okay. So first for star we can print like j is equal to 1 and j less than equal to stars j plus plus, and we can simply print here star, right? Here we have to write down a loop for space, fine, and then again a third loop to handle star. So again the same loop j less than equal to stars J plus plus, and here simply print star. So these two loops are done to print star star, these star and this star. So you have to handle now space. Now have to put condition for these spaces, because here spaces are decreasing, after that spaces are increasing. It depends on this condition. So we can do one thing. At first, like space equal to 2 into n. 2 into n means 8 minus 2. Space is this, 2 into n minus 2. That is, at first spaces are 6, right? So we just print here j is equal to 1, j less than equal to whatever the space variable, and j plus plus, and within this we simply print a space. That's it. But you have to change the space also, right? So after this, after printing the star and all, we can change this. We can do one thing. We can print something like this. If I is less than n, then you have to do space minus equal to 2, because I is less than n. Less than n means here. So we are right now here we are decreasing the spaces by 2, 6, then 4, then 2, then 0. Else increase the space plus equal to 2. Once I becomes greater than n, just increase the space by 2. Can we do something like this? Let's just implement this and see you are getting the output whatever you want. So this is the thing we have discussed. At first, space is 2 into n minus 2. That was fixed out of all the loops. Then the outer loop will run till 1 to 2 n minus 1. This thing we have seen, right? Then number of stars based on the condition, the same condition I have put. Then this will print the star. This loop is also same, is going to print the star. In between this, we are printing space. So this is for space. And after this new line, we have to update the space. If I is less than n, then do just space minus 2. Otherwise, space plus 2. Let's run this and see what output we are getting here. Number of rows, suppose 6. Yeah, we are getting the exact output. So it's running fine. So this approach also you can follow. See, there can be many approaches to solve a simple problem, a single problem. There can be more than the, there can be another approach also rather than these two approaches. We have discussed two approaches for pattern 14. Approach 1 is this. For upper half, for lower half, we have deal upper half and lower half with different, loops in two programs. Program was one, but in two segments, upper half and lower half. But here we have done only one single for loop, and within this for loop only we are writing three inner loops, two for stars, one for space. But based on some condition, we are changing the number of stars and number of spaces. Here you have to deal something like this with these conditions. So we have discussed few star patterns. I hope you got the idea how to think the logic if there is a pattern given, how to print that pattern. The next lecture we will see few number patterns as well as alphabetic patterns. Now it's up to you. Now you have to practice. There are a lot of printing pattern questions, so you have to practice a lot just to improve your logic building skills. Okay, so that's it for this lecture now. I will see you in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye. Take care.